and communications in the back, and they will make sure that you can get what you need. We are asking that everyone please ask for the microphones to ask a question, and also please identify yourself and your outlet, as well as the specific person that you're asking to answer your question. The press link, the press conference satellite coordinates are as follows: Galaxy 17, transponder 19, and 19B, that is, downlink frequency 12075.50. And again, we have the two people on either side with microphones, so please get their attention, and they will get you the microphone so that we can get that to you when the players and coach get here, and so everything can be heard on the broadcast. Okay, Butler's locker room is now open and will be open for 30 minutes. We'll give you a time update on how much time is left once their press conference is over. But according to my calculations, that should be open until 6:05. Yes. What's that? Yes, Arkansas will be second. Advancing team will come in, always come into the press conference first, and non-advancing team has a little bit more time. And for those who weren't at our first press conference today, the format on game day is that the coach comes in with the student athletes. The coach will be asked to give an opening statement, and then we will open the floor to questions for the student athletes. We'll handle those questions first and release them back to the locker room, and then we'll take questions for coach. Final boxes, I believe, are being passed around in the media room. I will pass that along. Also, just because I've been sitting up here for 2 days, there's one mic on each side, And so if everybody's sitting on this side, you're all fighting for one mic. Just fun fact. Congrats. I have not gotten a box score. We'll get things started here, and we'll ask Coach Jordan to give an opening statement, and then we will open questions up for the student athletes.
Yeah, first, I want to say congratulations to Coach Anderson. It's a great year. That's a really good basketball team. He's doing a heck of a job with their program. We knew today was going to be a fight. Obviously, with the press, their ability to press and extend the floor and apply pressure. We knew we had to handle that, and I thought our guys responded. I was really proud of our effort on the glass because they're a heck of a rebounding team as well with their length and athleticism. And it was all about response. Really proud of our seniors for stepping up, owning our huddles, and making plays when we needed them. And so, we just talked about surviving in advance. That's the nature of March. And we knew it was going to be a 40-minute game. We got up big early, and we knew they had a run in them, and we had to, hold on and get it back. But guys had a really good demeanor about them, and we made good decisions late, when it mattered.
Okay, we do have the three student athletes with us, Sean McDermott, Keelan Martin, and Kumar Baldwin. We'll open the floor to questions for the players, please.
Tom Davis, Fort Wayne News Sentinel for Sean. Sean, a lot of games have runs in them, but these were two absolute extreme runs, 21-2 on your part, 27-6 counter by them. What's going through your mind and your emotions after they've put that 27-6 run on you guys, and they take the lead after you guys were up so big?
Yeah, we're just moving on, focused on the next play, just the next possession mindset. Try to get a stop if we're on defense, or if we're on offense. Try to get a bucket to get ourselves going again. But like Coach said, they're a heck of a team, so we knew they would have a run in them.
Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette newspaper. This is for Kayla and Kamar. You guys, I think, combined for 61 points. Arkansas's big scores. Barford and Macon, I think, had they didn't have anywhere near that. They had 27. How do you guys feel about that switch? I mean, 61, outscoring their top two guys, 61 and 27. What do you think was the key to that?
I think Kamar and Aaron did a tremendous job on Barford and Macon. They held them. I don't know how much they had, but they just did a tremendous job. I seen them watching film with one of the coaches last night, and they were just locked in on personnel, and so give them all the credit. But those two are great players.
To go off that, it was a team effort. It took all of us out there to shrink the court, and that's what we did. We just make them take tough twos and limit their touches. So that was a team effort tonight.
Andrew Wingreen from Heroes Media Group. I know Sean just referenced the next play mentality that you guys had, but Keelan, there was a possession with about 9 minutes to go when you missed a three, long rebound. Arkansas went on a 2-on-1 break, and your freshman guard got a big stop, and then you came right back and answered with a three. And it was a 4-point game, big swing right there. But just kind of talk through what your mentality was and how big of a play that was for you guys.
It was a great play that Aaron made for us, and he found me again, just told me to keep shooting, and I just knocked it in. Coach always says, if you're open, shoot it. So just don't pass up open shots.
For Kamar, obviously you guys advanced to play Purdue, a team you're very familiar with, close by. You've already played this year, and they beat you guys handily in the first game. I know in conference play there are times that you have to bounce back from defeats to other teams. Is it the same mindset going against Purdue that Sunday will be a different game, that what happened in December has nothing to do with what happens on Sunday?
Let's see. Can you repeat the question?
Facing Purdue again, they beat you badly the first time 2 months ago. They beat you badly. How do you bounce back from that?
We're just going to play Butler basketball, just stick with our system and just play together as a team like we always do.
You guys, this is for any of the players. you guys held them to 4 of 18 3-point shooting. They'd been shooting 40%. They had a lot of big 3-point games. What was the key to hold them to 4 of 18?
Just trying to run them off the line. We talked about that before in pregame. Just run them off the line, just try to make them make tough twos. And I think we did a great job of that. And then they missed some open shots as well. They were good looks, but just give credit to our defense. We were just locked in on the scouting report and the game plan.
Any other player questions? Okay, gentlemen, you can head back to your locker room. Again, the locker room will be open until 6:05, and all the players will be now in there once they get back. We'll now open the floor up for questions for Coach Jordan, please.
Coach, I just want to start with the next round. I don't know if you've heard yet, but Isaac Haas has fractured his elbow and will be out for the next game. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah. They told me, in the locker room there as we headed down here. Obviously, your first thought goes out to Isaac and his family and Purdue and their program. You hate that for anybody, but especially a senior in his last run, for that to take him out. When they have a really good team and a really good chance to make a deep run. And so I think our mentality doesn't change. It's not like they're going to play 4 guys. They have other players that are really good. So we've got to be prepared for them.
Hey, Coach. Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Two-parter. Well, yeah, what was your thoughts on holding them to 4 of 18 on threes? And then also, they made the big run back at you, took the lead, but then you guys regained the lead at halftime and held it the rest of the game. How big was that run you made at the first half to get the lead back up to 5? Yeah,
in regards to the three-point line, it was, that was a heavy discussion throughout the week. We actually shoot more threes than them on the year by about 5. But they shoot a higher percentage, so they, when they take them, they make them, and so we had to get them off the line. They do a good job in their motion offense of setting screens. I thought guys did a good job chasing them. We were good, off the ball, which was a big emphasis. And then, transition was the other part where we gave up maybe 2 in transition, but we found them as they were flying up the court because we know that they play with pace, and so that was a big deal. And then the other one, we got up big, and I didn't expect to beat them by 20. Like I said, they've got firepower and some offensive weapons that can get you back in the game. And I thought our guys just had a really good response. When they came back to the huddle, they made the run. It was all about the next play, as Sean said. And so that mentality helped us keep a poise about us, even when they made a big run.
Coach, with Purdue, obviously a 7-2 guy goes out, they'll just replace him with a 7-3 guy. So is it pretty much the same scouting report, or is there some different strategies that you'll need to use on Sunday?
Yeah, I think offensively it changes things for them that, because Haas is such a factor on the offensive end of the court. And obviously the freshman big kid, he's a defender, shot blocker. He's very mobile. So they had kind of a double-edged sword there where they could do a little offense, defense, and they're both 7 feet tall. So now that the Edwards guys and the other players will get more aggressive because the points have to come from somewhere. So we've just got to do a really good job with personnel. Matt's a great coach, and they run really good stuff. And we've got to guard anything they throw at us. They got veteran players, and they'll be ready.
I got another two-parter here, if that's okay. You guys seem like he really did a nice job on Gafford. I mean, he was 2 of 9. You kept him from going crazy. What was the key to that? And then I think Butler's 11-1 in openers since 2001. I think you're the 5th coach in that run. So obviously, you guys are all doing a pretty good job. What do you think about 11-1 and being the latest guy to win that first game?
Yeah, I think 11-1 is because we got pretty good players. They've got a lot of pride in the program, and so our seniors weren't satisfied with just getting here and getting to the tournament. Obviously, we had to earn that, but they got bigger goals in mind, and so and that's been the case the past 2 decades. And I think that you can feel that, you can see it. I think we work with that mindset every day. And these guys have done a heck of a job this season. And what was your first question again? Yeah, the big fella, obviously he presents a problem. He's big, he's long, he's athletic. We just wanted to keep him away from the basket. We got caught a couple times, fronting a little bit too high, and they threw it over the top, and he was able to use his length. We wanted to stay between him and the basket and make it hard for him and to score and give him no angles. And so I thought Tyler and Nate did a great job. And then we kept him off the glass. I think he had 0 offensive rebounds, or he got 2. And so it wasn't a big factor because we know that's part of his ability to help them is going to rebound and get putbacks.
We have time for one final question if there is one.
Andrew Wingren, Heroes Media Group. Coach, I know this was your first tournament victory as a head coach. Congrats on that. But just kind of wanted to get your insight on, was there any advice that you had gotten leading up to this week of preparation that kind of prepared you for this moment, being your first time in the tournament as a head coach?
I reached out to a couple of my mentors just on prepping for the week because you got Selection Sunday and then the game's on Friday, so what to do with the 4 days in between. And outside of that, you just have a mindset of trying to do your best for these guys. They deserve it. You know how they're going to work. You know they're going to pay attention to the game plan, so just making sure we're really clear on what we were asking of them so that they can come out and play with big hearts and execute.
Coach, thank you, and congrats on the big win today.
Thank you.
As I said, the Butler locker room will be open until 6:05, so there's maybe about 15 minutes left there. Zero. The players, please.
What about unfinished business? And this obviously wasn't the way you wanted it to end. Just how tough is this? You had a great season, but it's not in the way you wanted it to.
I mean, it was a great season, a good run while it lasted. They did good. Butler did well tonight by making tough shots, getting rebounds, getting key stops. They just made plays down the stretch that hurt us a lot.
Kind of what he said. It was a great season. We got back where we wanted to be, which was the tournament. Can't thank this man enough right here. He gave us a chance to show our true talents. That's what we went out there and did all season, so I can't thank him enough.
You guys obviously are both really good three-point shooters. The team shoots 40%, but today 4 out of 18. Was that a tough day for you guys? Was that something Butler was doing? What do you think contributed to that shooting?
I think it just comes and goes. Today was one of those days where it just wasn't falling, and we just didn't adjust to it. So it wasn't nothing they was doing. It was a great team tonight. They made shots, made tough shots, and we didn't execute on either end of the floor. So these were the results of it.
Yeah, I mean, they ain't nothing just specific to stop us from shooting. I mean, everybody got good looks on the team. Just wasn't knocking down shots, and they were knocking down shots, so they won.
Do we have any further questions for the players? Okay, gentlemen, you can head back to your locker room. Congrats on a great season and great college careers.
All right, Bob.
We'll open up the floor to questions for Coach Anderson.
Mike, you guys made a great run and got the lead, I think 29-27, but then they regained the lead. Is that a deal where when you come from that far down, it kind of takes, some gas out of your tank? And how big was that you think for Butler that they were able to regain the lead because they never lost it after that?
I thought that was big for them, but I think we had some opportunities where we could come down and execute. I think we came down, we turned it over one time, and one time I think we just came down and heard the shot. I always talk about when you got momentum, you take it as long as you can, and we didn't. But credit them, they didn't go away. It was I think you're right. It was 29-27, and then I don't even think we scored. I think we ended up scoring 31 right at the end. We scored 2 free throws or something like that there at the end. But they went on a run, but it does take a lot of you when you go uphill. But I got to thank our bench. The guys came off the bench and really gave us some great minutes. Darius Hall, Orlando Cook, Trey Thompson, C.J. Jones. Those guys were the catalysts, I thought, today. If there was a game ball, it would go to those guys for getting us back in. But it takes some out of you, and no question about it, especially going down the stretch.
Mike, I know that your seniors, and especially Daryl and Jalen, talked about coming back for unfinished business because they obviously had opportunities to turn pro somewhere. How disappointing is it, you guys weren't able to go farther because that's obviously they came back to do something,
Well,
big.
in one sense you say you're disappointed, but just because of, they got an opportunity to actually participate in this tournament, you want to see them advance and continue to play good basketball. I thought we was playing good basketball. This game here wasn't, to me, how we were playing. We just didn't make shots, so I don't think it was a disappointment. I'm sure they're disappointed right now. There's a lot of people disappointed, but they gave themselves an opportunity. I thought these guys have had a fantastic career. You're talking about two guys that, especially those two guys, the 1,000-point scorers in 2 years, 2 NCAA tournaments, all conference in the SEC. That normally don't happen for guys coming from junior college. You may have one, but not two. But I think they evolved as players. They got better, and they impacted this team. They impacted this program. I'm going to miss those guys, and our fans surely can relate to those guys. I thought those guys were some of the fan favorites, and not only that, but this team. I think they like this team, the makeup of this team. So, but like I said, right now I got a real disappointed locker room in there, because guys thought they were a much better basketball team than they put on display today. But give Butler credit; they were much better today.
Mike Noah, Trister, Associated Press. I guess only 22 points in the game, or in the paint tonight. What did they do, I guess, to kind of limit Gafford in there and make it so difficult for you guys?
I just thought we were in attack mode. I thought there were times we did attack. I didn't think we finished strong around the basket. I think they pushed us around a little bit, and that's what you get in this. They let you play, and that's what you get in this tournament. And so I think the physicality. Not only that, we had some opportunities where we didn't finish as well. But again, they made shots, we didn't make shots, and they beat us 20 on the boards. I mean, you get pounded on the boards like that there. And obviously they're going to have more defensive rebounds because we didn't shoot the ball well. But I thought the killer was when those offensive rebounds, or rebounds that we have in our hands, they come up with them on offensive end, and whether they stick back or have another extra opportunity, man, those are killers there for you. And we had some of those in this game here. And I even go back to, as I said, when we cut it to 6 and we had like 3 or 4 opportunities to cut the lead. And I think a turnover that took place, and all of a sudden they get on the other end, they make a 3. But again, it just wasn't our day.
Mike, what did you think of Daniel's game overall today?
I didn't think Daniel played one of his better games. I thought his tensions were there. I just didn't think he didn't finish well around the basket. But I thought he played with his heart. That's all you can ask.
You got 5 seniors who've done a lot for the program. Just kind of how would you sum up those guys' careers and what they've meant to you in the program?
Oh, I think they've impacted this program in a mighty way. And I always say that it's funny because 2 of those guys were true seniors when you talk about it. When you think about Anton Beard, he's been on 3 NCAA teams, started his freshman year in the NCAA tournament. Trey Thompson, who's graduated in 3 years, and those guys have been like the core. I think the backbone of what is taking place, what has transpired. They may not be the high major players or the impact players that everybody think about, but they fit it in. They played a role and they played it well, and they winners. And then when you look at Jalen and Barford and Orlando Cook, as well as Daryl Macon, they just got here, and so you can see the impact. It normally takes junior college players a year to get it. To get it figured out a little bit. But these guys jumped right in, and they became mainstays. And those guys they imparted some great things on our program. And I think people recognize, we had some talented individuals, and we had a really good basketball team. And I think it just continues to set things up for the future.
With the rebounding, I mean, if you guys missed a lot of shots. If you could have gotten more offensive boards, I mean, was that frustrating? Because you guys have done good.
Yeah, we've been doing well. We've been really rebounding the basketball, and that's why I say you get to this game here. That's the thing about it. You never know how guys are going to come out, and we've been really good on the glass in most games. But tonight we just didn't have that energy to come up with it. We got our hands on a lot of them. We just didn't come up with it.
Do we have any final questions? We have time for one more. Okay. Coach, congrats on a great season, and we enjoyed having you and your team in Detroit.
Thank you. I enjoyed Detroit. Thank you.
longer?